and the people that truly don't know about Michael Jordan.
Before we get to this perfume story and the cologne story, which is incredible, we were talking, what would your hair look like if you let it grow out? True, what would it look like?
Well, I'm pretty sure I look younger.
You would look younger?
I would look younger.
Would it grow full? I mean, do you have a full head of hair?
No, I wouldn't say that I have an abundance of hair, but it'll be enough to where I have a tough time maintaining it because I'm so accustomed to not maintaining it, you know.
Why did you go bald?
Low maintenance. My father he always wanted to keep our hair close so he didn't have to cut it because he did all the cutting. We never went to barbershops when we were young, and he would do it at home, and he would have to do it very few times if we cut it low.
Is that because you were poor?
No, we could afford going to a barbershop, but I think it was just his way of saving money, you know, his way of beating the economy.
Were you the first of our famous now, what is generally regarded as a general concept of bald athletes?
No, I think a lot of people.
Who was big bald before you?
Slick Watts, you know, Curly Neal, who everybody knows Curly Neal's with the Globetrotters. I think, you know, that's the first bald-headed person I actually saw that people truly love.
What's the advantage of being bald?
As I said, it's low maintenance. You don't have to worry about it. You can sleep, get up, and go. You don't have to worry about if your hair is all messed up. But one disadvantage is the wintertime is cold. And you gotta wear a hat.
Gotta wear a hat. Oh, it must go right through your head, huh?
Sure.
Now, do you do it back to front like we saw you do it there? How do you?
Actually, I do back to front, but then I go against the grain to get real close. So
and you have to do it every 3 days?
Every 3 days. I got it down to an art now. It takes about 12 minutes.
Really?
Sure.
And what kind of blade?
A normal blade.
Just regular Gillette, any one of the blades?
Well, I don't want to.
May not be your sponsor.
Yeah, there you go.
A regular blade, right?
Just a regular
with
blade.
Regular cream.
Sure.
All right, before we move to the Cologne and the whole concept with Bijan, everything that's going on with you the coming season, but first, what do you make of the biggest story in sport today, the Roberto Alomar? Spitting and the official.
Well, I know Roberto. I think it was a bad incident for him. He has a great family. He's always been positive in the public's eye. And, I mean, we've all been in situations where we've shown a lot of frustrations, and to some degree we've shown it in different ways. I mean, you have to remember that I bumped the referee back in 1993, and, you know, but this is a little bit more of a magnified event. Even though it happened, I think he should be penalized for it, but I think at some point in time, you can't let one bad thing override some of the good thing that this guy's done for the game of baseball, you know. And yeah, he should be penalized. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be, but I think everyone must forgive. And I don't think anyone's going to forget, but they have to forgive.
Penalized for the playoffs or next season?
I think it should be now. I think that's the only thing. That's the only thing that could, you know, please everyone. I mean, and when you think about it. A league that has had problems, you have to do, you know, the most correct thing, and to put it off to next year, you know, you can create so many controversies, and I think he truly understands that, and I think he would take the penalization with a better understanding that it has to be done now.
What if we learned subsequently, as many think, that he was goated? What if the umpire said something mean to him or racial to him, or this is the hint that people on his side are saying, what if the umpire goaded him into doing this?
Yeah, but you have to be responsible for your actions. That doesn't mean that, you know, we should have given an explanation or excuse to do that.
No matter what's said to you, under no circumstances would you do that to an official?
I wouldn't do it. And you know, I may vent my frustration. I must admit, I can't say that I wouldn't, even if I'm goaded into the situation. But some things are looked upon that's not excusable. And to do that on TV where everyone can, you know, peer their own judgment or voice their own judgment, it's bad judgment on his part. And I think he realizes that. And I think he would do anything to try to take that back or recoup the situation. But, I mean, like most things in our profession, the last bad thing that you do is the last.
Yeah. He's going to be remembered.
He's going to be remembered for that.
Do you think a star like yourself has an even bigger obligation that you... Great stars rarely even argue on. I never saw Stan Musial argue. Never saw Joe DiMaggio argue.
That doesn't mean they never were frustrated. I think it's been times where they even vented their frustrations in different ways, and it was never publicized or ever seen.
They might have kicked the locker.
Sure. I mean, but this so happens to be in plain sight, and I think that's the sad part about it. And I think to some degree something has to be done so that the game of baseball is not penalized.
He is regarded as not only the best athlete to ever play his sport, he is the best-known public figure on the planet. You know, you topped Lady Di.
Oh, yeah, she's a great friend. I like Lady Di.
And he name drops. But if Michael Jordan can name drop, because every name is lower. We'll be right back and talk about this. Don't go away.
Now, back to Larry King.
Okay, market surveys, as we mentioned, have proven that more people can positively identify Michael Jordan than photographs of Princess Di, Cindy Crawford, Whitney Houston, John Wayne, or Bill Clinton. Michael Jordan Cologne is the first product to bear an athlete's name. It also marks the first, bear his name, and the first licensing endeavor by the Bijan group of companies. Now, we all know Bijan, the very famous man who has stores in Beverly Hills and in... How did you and Bijan, this would seem like opposites attracting, how did you and Bijan get together?
Well, I wouldn't say opposites. I think he's a very creative person, you know, and creativity comes in all different forms of fashion. Yeah, he's small. I admit that, but I think you can be small and be just as creative. And I think this is a project that's been on the back burner for about 5 years.
Who came to who?
Sandra Love, who the vision of doing this came to my people and started talking to them. And about a year ago, maybe 13, 14 months ago, they came to me and to get me involved and see if I really wanted to pursue it. And I've always been a fan of fashion and fragrance. And with a company like Bijan, which gives the whole idea a little bit of credibility, not a little bit, a lot of credibility, I chose to do it because it would be fun. You know, it just gives me an opportunity to create. And I haven't really had this experience or this opportunity since I started the Air Jordan collection or just creating a basketball shoe. So it was kind of in lieu of that I wanted to give it a shot and see what happens.
Now, having talked to you about the shoe, I know that you were involved in that shoe.
Sure.
That wasn't that they brought you the shoe and said, look at this.
No, I got to okay everything that comes across.
Were you involved in this too?
Same thing. Yeah, we had pretty much the same regulations that I wanted to be involved. If my name was going to be on it, I wanted a piece of me inside that bottle. And
you do a lot of smelling?
Yes. They really educate.
Little bottles here.
5 little bottles are like accords. They take different little scents or fragrances from bits and pieces of my life. Let's say home run is...
A home run when you played baseball?
No, not quite. Home run is about when I played baseball. It's a whole adventurous attitude of being able to take the challenge of walking away and pursuing something that you may not know if you're going to succeed at, but just having an idea to do so.
Then we have Cool.
Cool, which is in North Carolina, the whole fresh scent of North Carolina, where I'm from. Then you have Pebble Beach, which, as you can see, relates a little bit to G.O.A.T, but yet the green grass and the smell of grass. And
you have Sensual.
Sensual, which, as you know, my wife had a little bit to do with, and it's a private side that a lot of people don't tend to associate with.
That's right, we don't think of you that way.
And Rare Air is just...
Rare Air.
Unique, exceptionally, emotionally, just having a fun time.
Now, if I smelled each one of these, they would have each a different fragrance, right? Like Rare Air is, ooh.
Pretty strong.
Pretty strong. Rare Air is strong.
My freedom is very strong.
This is Cool.
Smells like North Carolina.
Kind of cool, yeah. Like Carolina in the morning. Now, this is Sensual.
You love that. Nice and light.
You know me, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's very light.
God, I love you, Michael.
No, no.
Okay, all right.
No, no.
That's very nice.
It's not dinner.
Okay, all right. Okay, Pebble Beach.
Grass. Tell me if it smells like grass.
Ooh.
Just like grass, doesn't it?
It's grass.
Not the grass.
Not the grass.
Good grass.
Grass like they golf on.
Okay.
And
this should
home run.
Smell like leather, like a basketball or glove.
Yeah. All right, now, but it all goes into one fragrance?
All goes into
When I buy this, do I get the 5 little ones?
No, this is not. This is only...
This is just to show me how it's made.
Sure.
And that results in this.
Yes.
All right, first, I want to show this. Who picked that shape?
See, that's unique, too. We at Bijan, and I'm saying we because I'm a partnership in this situation, is that we take time in making sure that the packaging and the bottle has a unique style to it all. This is relating to the basketball shoe, which is rubber. And if you look at the bottom, you got a little sole, like a basketball sole.
And the side, the reason
the side
for
with the basketball inside.
Basketball in the middle.
Clear.
And hence the fragrance.
Sure. You don't love it.
Oh, yeah.
See? You don't know what I do for you, Larry. I'm not kidding. Be careful now. You don't put too much on.
Let me see you put it on.
Sure.
Let's
You want to see how I do it?
How do you do it?
They taught me how to do this. That wasn't me.
The wrist?
That's too much.
Rub the two hands together.
Ooh. See? But me, knowing me, I do this.
Okay. What are they pricing this at? Because Bijan is not known as downtown Walmart.
We had a strong conversation about that. I think a lot of times people associate high-end, high price with Michael Jordan. You know, when you think about the basketball shoe, how much it cost, and at the time it was a very expensive shoe. We wanted this to be affordable. I'm pretty sure it's going to be right around 35 bucks and work its way down. I don't think it's going to exceed that. Hopefully not. I mean,
You doing a cologne and an aftershave?
well, right now we're just going to start with this soap, some other.
Underarm?
Yes.
Powder?
No.
Oh, but eventually a full line of
We
fragrance.
want to expand. I mean, but we don't want to jump out there without really having a solid base. I think that's the most important thing is get your foot in the door first. And then if you get a good response from the public, then you can expand on it.
Great stuff. And it really is these 5 fragrances put together. This is not like a bit.
No, it's more than that. I mean, but that's just the 5 that we pulled out so you can get a good example. It's usually about 100, I think we had 116 accords.
Did you go nuts smelling it all?
I got tired. And then my kids helped me out a little bit. My little kids enjoyed it.
And this breaks in November, right? This is not in stores yet?
Actually, it goes to stores October 27th.
And what kind of stores?
All different. I mean, it's going to be a little bit different strategy to this. We want to get in all the department stores, your normal department stores, but yet we're going to extend it a little bit further. Champs, Sportmart, some of the areas that we've done business with through the Air Jordan basketball shoe and all.
Now, you know, this is probably, in women's and men's, the most difficult field.
It's unisex. Women can use that as well.
Women can use this,
sure,
too?
Sure. We didn't want to regionalize or localize.
So, I mean, women with leather and home run and... Yeah, maybe. Smells nice.
That can fall for
It
that.
is a very...
I'm telling you, it's a great scent.
It really is a nice smell. And
And it's a lot of work. It isn't a product that, you know, I signed a contract with these people. They put out the product without me having any involvement. That's one thing I didn't want to happen because it's not really me. I want to be a part of it. And
is there any danger, Michael, as you look at it, and I know David Falk, your super agent, is here, of being over-marketed?
It's always a risk for that. I mean, but I'm in tune with what David is doing, and I dictate in terms of what I want to be involved with, when I want to cut back. I think that's the understanding that I have about myself, my schedule. If my schedule gets to a point where it's too demanding, then I start to cut back. And I want to be in control. A lot of people don't tend to understand that, but I'm in control of a lot of things that happen in my life, and that's very fortunate for me.
Are you a control freak? And I mean that in a good sense.
No, I'm not a control freak. I rationalize a lot. I listen to advice, but when I have to put the foot down, I put the foot down, without a doubt.
We'll be right back with Michael Jordan. We'll be including your phone calls. Michael Jordan also has a major film coming next month in which he co-stars with Bugs Bunny. Hey, who loves you? We'll be right back. What's up, Doc?
Sure.
Your coach said the other day, you'll never win 73 games again. It's too much pressure to ask. And 2, he questioned whether he wants to see if you still have that burning desire to win again.
Well, I'm pretty sure at this late age in my career, people want to test and see if I can maintain or I have the enthusiasm to maintain. I agree with him. It'll be tough for us to win 73 games. I don't think that should be our goal. We never set that as a goal last year. I think our ultimate goal is to win a championship. Everything else is gravy up to that point. Myself, I'm looking forward to constantly proving myself, you know, and that's a part of the challenge. That's some of the things I didn't have when I left the game in '93. And now I have something to prove each and every time I step on the basketball court.
What keeps the desire going when you've attained everything there is to attain?
Well, it's just competition of people trying to get to the level that you are or where you were through you to a certain extent. And that's a part of the challenge. I don't want no one to come out and either take the respect that I've earned over the last 11, 12 years, not through me while I'm playing the game of basketball. If that's the case, then I know it's time for me to walk away.
Many athletes have had difficulty doing that, walking away, and some have stayed 1 year too long. Willie Mays stayed 1 year too long. Is that a fear?
No, I'm not afraid to. As people have seen, I'm not afraid to walk away when I feel I don't have the challenge or the push. I truly love the game. I always will. but I will know when it's time for me to walk away. In '93, it was time for me to walk away. I never thought I would come back.
I know, we were at your ceremony.
Sure.
We unveiled your statue.
I never thought I was coming back, but here we are, I'm back. But when I leave, next time, I know I'm not coming back.
Do you ever tell yourself that, as Tommy Lasorda told us, had you started baseball when you were 20, you'd have been a Major League Baseball player?
If I would continue it all the way through high school, and when I went to college, I wanted to, and I just got wrapped up into one because I was faced with something that people didn't really feel that I could do, and that was play on a Division I level basketball-wise. So I had to focus on that and not really concentrate on trying to spread myself too thin.
No one will forget the emotion of this last championship. You on the floor, holding the ball, crying. What was going on?
Well,
Why this one?
Because, I mean, I didn't really have the support system that I had over the past, 11 years. I mean, without my father being around, which I always felt was a positive reinforcement to a lot of things that I did. My mother has always been there, and she still is there with the support. But I wanted him to be there because that meant a lot. We've always shared success together as a family, and he was minus. And I felt that was the kind of an empty hole in my heart at the time. And I wanted to pay tribute to him, away from the whole scene of...
So that was missing him and a tribute to him?
Sure, without a doubt.
So therefore, it was your biggest kick?
It was. And looking back, last year and the previous years, last year was probably the biggest year that I had in my career, in the sense that I had something to prove, not just to me, but to my father and to everyone that doubted if I could basically do it again.
What's this $1 million thing you did yesterday at the University of North Carolina?
It was a contribution that the family made, and I made it on behalf of the Jordan family to the...
To the school?
To the school, which is the Jordan Institute of Families, Jordan Family Institute at the university, and I think it was just to initiate, to bring back some awareness of a family really taking in and learning how to deal with different types of problems in this society. I think with a lot of the problems that are happening, it starts at home to make the right and the sound decisions, and the parents have to be teachers at home instead of relying on the teachers in school to make those decisions. And we want to educate the families to deal with a lot of those problems at home and educate their kids to make the sound decisions whenever they have to.
Our guest is the incredible Michael Jordan. Everything's going, movies, Cologne, product endorsements, and of course, the best that ever played his game. And you notice, he's not denying it. He's not saying, oh, no. We'll be right back. We'll include your phone calls. Don't go away. By the way, if you ever asked a good trivia question in a bar somewhere, ask who was the most famous athlete ever born in Brooklyn? And Michael Jordan is the answer, because he spent 1 month of his life there, right?
9 months, actually.
9 months?
Yes.
Oh, then you're a definite Brooklynite.
No, you got to be there 1 year. I made it up to 9 months.
Okay, but it's in your blood, though. It's
somewhere.
You're Brooklyn. It's probably in the scent somewhere. What's it like, really, you're a kid, you come out of school, you go to North Carolina, rigid coach who you love, Dean Smith,
sure,
to become inordinately wealthy? Really, what is that like to know no financial need? Playing a game you played as a kid.
Well, first of all, I mean, you have to be very fortunate to play a game that you truly love, and yet you get paid for it, and paid a lot of money.
Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's society. In some ways, society is ridiculous, but I think I would have never anticipated being in this position, when I was 13, 14 years old. I wanted to play baseball. I would have never thought playing basketball and to the magnitude that the people have respected me and reacted to me at this level. It's been very, very surprising, and it's a script that no one can ever write again. Everyone tries to paint another picture for another athlete. This isn't something that we plan. It's something that we kind of stumble upon, and those are the good things. When you don't chase success, somehow it finds you.
Yeah.
If you chase it, you never find it.
Do you think back a lot to the days when you weren't?
Sure. A lot of my closest buddies and my friends are still the same old friends with the same expectations for me to call them every chance I get.
And you're still just Michael to them, right?
Oh,
I mean, no big deal.
Well, I got a couple of nicknames that I won't say on TV, but I'm still their best friend.
Now, what's it like having everything of a financial end? What does that make you, are you a happier person?
No, I would be just as happy if I wasn't able to obtain all those things. I don't think it gives you happiness. I think it gives you an opportunity to make other people happy. If you want to buy a present for your, for a friend or even for your wife or whatever, but you know, you're happy just being able and having the freedom to make a choice and making a choice that makes you happy. That's the wealth that I think I have. It's not financial.
What do you worry about?
What do I worry about? I worry about making sure that I present the type of person that Michael Jordan's all about. You know, a free-going, loving person, enjoying himself at all times. And yeah, I've been given a role as a role model. It's been bestowed upon me. I didn't really ask for it, but I've accepted it. And you want to do what's right. And you want to generalize every comment so that someone can pick some positive things from it so they can influence their lives. But you have to be very understanding that you're not going to be there day to day to these kids who you want to influence to see the different moods. And I think that makes it tough being a role model because
You got to be on all of it.
you got to be there every day. You got to be there every day
Do
to
you
make
think
that
you
influence.
have that obligation, though, to be something special for them?
I have that obligation because I've accepted it. It wasn't something that I asked for. You know, people bestowed that upon me, and I accepted it graciously. I'm not saying that I denied it or I don't want it. I think the admiration of other people is a great tribute to have. I mean, sometimes it's a tribute that's not worth money. You know, it's just worth the admiration. But it's a heavy responsibility, and everything's magnified 10 times, 100 times a normal person, as you may know, and that's an unbelievable pressure that you have to deal with.
Does the game truly come easily to you? You
I
make it
understand
appear
the
that
game.
way.
I understand the game. I understand the dedication that you got to have for the game. Yeah, it should, to the entertainer or the people that are watching, it looks simple, but there's a lot of work put into this. And it's a lot of work continually, each and every time, to get myself to a level to perform the way I want to perform so that everyone's going to be happy, whoever's watching.
Are there times where in your heart you haven't played well and I in the stands wouldn't know it?
Sure. There's been times like that, and that's good. And the best way to cover that up is to win. And
There's win when you're bad. Or
sure, if you win when
insult.
you're bad, no one knows.
Let's take some calls from Michael Jordan, Cucamonga, California. Hello.
Yes, good evening, Mr. King and Mr. Jordan.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I have a question for you, Mr. Jordan. How can you persuade a young man to use cologne when they don't think it's the man's thing to do?
Good question.
Well, that is a good question. I think there's something that it starts at home. I think hygiene is something that basically you're taught from your parents, and at some point in time, cologne is going to be a part of that hygiene, you know. And me as an influence, I can only do it, as I said, from a far distance general sense. But at home, that's where the parent or the mother.
It's a clean feeling.
Sure. It's
What
a
age
clean
do you
feeling.
recommend it, by the way? When should a boy start?
I would say at least when he's a teenager, you know, so he understands hygiene and you know, my father taught me and my mother taught me that a lot of times you're perceived to be your personality is seen by the way you're dressed and sometimes the way that you smell. And as you become a teenager and you start interacting with grown-ups and adults, I think your perception of the way that you appear sometimes can dictate the type of personality you have.
Before we take the next call, something must be asked. One of the things amazing about you is that most people who lose a close relative to the action of someone else, we see Peggy, we see Class's father, Ron Goldman's father.
Sure.
They get wrapped up in the trial. They go to the trial. They go on television. We haven't heard that from you. Why?
Well, I'm not saying, I don't want to question why they have not.
I don't want to criticize them,
Right,
but you
sure.
haven't.
I've always been at peace with my father, and I'm not saying these people were not at peace with their relative that died, but I think I looked at the positive side of things. You know, my father was with me for 31 years of my life, and there's a lot of kids out there who've never had their fathers that long. I've tried to take that negative and turn it into a positive, saying, hey, he's educated me to the point where I'm 31 years old and I can make sound decisions for myself. And instill that in my kids and move forward.
And no hatred for the people who perpetrated it?
No, because I think they should be punished just because of the judicial system and where our society stands. But for me to have anger and frustration continuously for the rest of my life because of what one individual has taken away from me really doesn't give me an opportunity to live my life for my kids who have to follow my footsteps. So I let that go. I went through my period of sorrow and kind of dealt with the situation. Anger, I was angry about it, but no matter what you do to these individuals, you know...
They ain't gonna bring them back.
Ain't gonna bring them back. You know, and I can accept that and I can understand that. And I just hope that, you know, in some ways we can learn from it.
We'll be back with more of the incredible Michael Jordan on Larry King Live. By the way, Sunday night, following the presidential debate, we will have Ross Perot. He'll get a voice at 10:30 Eastern Time Sunday night, and then after 45 minutes, all the other candidates who are on the ballot in so many states. I'll be the referee. We'll be right back. We're back with Michael Jordan. Let's take another call from Chicago. Hello.
Hi, Mr. King and Mr. Jordan.
Hello, how you doing?
Okay. I have a 4-year-old son and a 30-year-old husband who really idolize you. That must put a tremendous amount of pressure on you. How do you deal with all the pressure and speculation that goes along with that role?
Idolatry. How do you deal with it?
In terms of the
Just
responsibility?
dealing with it. I mean, she's got a 30-year-old husband, a 4-year-old son. They worship you.
Well, my job truly is to entertain them when they're watching a game of basketball. And I want to do that. You know, I want them to have a 2-hour break from their normal life so they can entertain themselves.
You're aware you're an entertainer?
Sure, I realize that. And but to some degree of educating them. I mean, I have my life, and certainly I live my life in some ways different than most people. And you have to understand that and utilize whatever bits and pieces of my life that can enhance your life. But I wouldn't say all my life is pretty much set for, you know, people to follow.
You don't live for other people.
No.
You do normal things, though. I mean, you go to your restaurant at night, you go out, you
Sure.
are public, right?
Sure,
You don't
I
hide.
do that. I don't hide. I don't want to isolate myself. I think when you isolate, you create so much mystery about yourself. And you know, I interact. I like people coming up and talking. Even with the autographs thing, I rather, instead of signing an autograph, I rather shake someone's hand or talk to them, because I think you can get a little bit more about that person and from that person than
I think they
sign
feel from an autograph, though, you leave something
Sure,
with them. Yeah.
I understand.
By the way, every prime star on the Bulls, including the coach, has a 1-year contract, right?
Well, at least when you're talking about
Except for
Pippen.
I guess Pippen.
Pippen.
So does this mean that's it? 1 year more for all of you? Or for, well, speak for yourself.
No, actually, the reason for my 1-year contract is that I feel that I want to take each thing year by year. And with Phil signing to a 1-year contract, good. That gives me an opportunity to sign for a 1-year contract.
Coach. He has the one.
And then, you know, if we sign again for next year, great. You know, I want that to happen. I would love to kind of build over a period of time, or at least another couple of years, to be playing in Chicago. I don't anticipate playing anywhere else, but I like to remain in Chicago. And I want to give the team an opportunity after each and every year. If they want to choose a direction in terms of which way they want to go, they don't have to worry about me. They have to worry about what
Would you ever play for someone else?
No, I don't think I will.
Never.
No, I'll never say never. I already said that.
But you're a Bull.
Yeah, I want to be a Bull for the rest of my career.
Like DiMaggio was a Yankee, Music was a Cardinal,
Sure.
Williams was a Red Sox.
You've earned that respect in Chicago, and to some degree, I would never want to break any ties by leaving Chicago.
You could have been in Portland. Right? Didn't they draft ahead of you?
Flip of the coin?
Flip of the coin.
Sure.
Dallas, Texas, for Michael Jordan. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. King and Michael. How are
Hi, what's the question?
My question is to Michael. You just said that you're a role model and that was given to you whether you asked for it or not. How do you feel about professional athletes such as the baseball player who spit on the umpire? When children look at that and they're let down, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think I mentioned that earlier in the show. I don't think that should have happened, and certainly he should be penalized. And we all, as athletes, just like normal people in their everyday lives, have moods of frustration and maybe anger. And we, because of the focus that's on us, have to vent those in ways that, you will not magnify the situation. I think that was a bad choice for Roberto, and I think we all understand that, and I think he should be penalized.
What do you think it does to a kid, though?
I think the kid looks at it as a sad, and I'm pretty sure the parents should be there
when they watch the scene.
Sure, to explain it to him that this is some things that you shouldn't do, and that he should be penalized, and this is what happens when you do something like that, because you're going to get penalized.
But there are little normal things you can't. For example, if you get cut off in traffic, you can't jump out of your car and scream.
No.
Like Joe the salesman can, right?
No, yeah, right.
So you have to watch your vent.
Exactly right. I mean, you can sit there and yell all you want to in the car and call them all kinds of names or whatever.
But you can't act like a jerk with people around.
And if you do that, let's say if you get out and you yell, or maybe you hit the guy. Any normal guy could jump out and do that, but if you hit him,
goodbye.
It's a lawsuit. You pretty much settle that out of court.
We'll be, you almost have to in that.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll be back with more of Michael Jordan. If it's out there, he's involved. Don't go away. Will the Bulls repeat?
We have a chance. Yeah, I think we
Good chance.
Sure. Good
Who's
chance.
tough?
As long as we stay healthy. That's the most important thing.
Who you worried about?
So a lot of teams you can be worried about. New York, which has changed their team, their face look. Orlando's going to be a sneaky team. Don't sleep on Orlando.
Even though Shaq is gone?
Even though Shaq, they played well without Shaq last year. L.A. with Shaq can be a team to be dealt with. Houston with Barkley and Elijah. Who are you going to double team? See, that's the decision that the coaches got to worry about. And Seattle. Seattle certainly is going to be a little bit more confident this year.
What do you think of Sean Kemp not showing?
Well, I mean, everybody tries to make a statement in whatever fashion, and I think he's trying to make a statement, but I think he'll show up.
How about my Bullets?
Bullets, I forgot about them. Young talent. Could put everything together. I love Juwan Howard.
You wanted him to come to Chicago, didn't you?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Come on,
if he
you
could
did.
fit in. I would love to.
He was your guest at the playoffs, wasn't he?
You know, he worked out with me all summer last year, the year that, I mean, last 18 months, and such a great guy, class act, and I wish him well. You know, although I keep telling them we're going to kick their butts when we come back.
Washington was lucky to get him back, though. I'm losing him.
Very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Hello.
Hello, Michael. I'd like to ask you a question.
Sure.
What is your personal feelings about the kids coming straight out of high school, passing up college to go straight into the professional league?
High school to the NBA.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough scenario.
All right, let's say your son. Let's say you have a son. He's a great ball player.
Sure.
He's 18. He's all-world high school.
I probably wouldn't let him do it because I think...
Wouldn't?
I wouldn't let him do it because I've experienced the professional ranks, and I know a lot of the pressures and some of the traveling problems that you may have at a young age. I mean, this kid in L.A., who I really think is going to be a good player, but I think a lot of things he's going to have to deal with. His father, who used to play in the pros, are going to pretty much educate him.
He's still going to be 18 years old.
Sure, he's going to be 18.
With
Where can he go and have a good time? He can't go with the rest of the team because the team is either going to go into a club or somewhere where he can't go. He can't drink legally. Anyway, he can sit in his room and play video games, but sooner or later, that's going to get tiresome. He's going to want to do the things. And he's going to be exposed to so much negative things. Not a lot. I'm saying that the NBA is not a bad organization, but sure, we have problems and we have situations that you have to use your knowledge of making the right and sound decisions to avoid away from some of those problems that could occur. But I would love to see kids go to college, get a good experience of playing on a higher level, and to see where they stand. Then maybe taking that chance.
nothing against coming out hardship, though, right?
No, I have.
2 years?
No, I don't have a problem with that. I think as long as you feel you reach the level that you're ready for the pros, and you make sure you go back and get your education.
Go back.
That's the first reason you go to college.
Wilmington, North Carolina. Hello.
That's home.
Hey, MichaelJordan.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 10.
10. What's your question?
I wanted to ask MichaelJordan, was it hard getting into the NBA?
Yeah, your first year.
When I got older, I'd like to get into the women's NBA.
She
wants to be a lady
yeah,
pro.
the women's NBA. It was hard. It was a long road. I think I put forth a lot of effort, a lot of work. I got lucky. You know, I stayed healthy. I got to a college that I got great education about the game, about life, about academics. And then when it came to a point for me to make the best sound decision for myself with the advice of my parents, I made it. And to some degree, that was a long road and went against a lot of challenges.
Luck, too. Right team.
Sure.
Right?
The right situation. I came out in '84 right after the Olympics with the highest exposure that you could get. Olympics being here in L.A., flip of the coin. I'm not in Portland. I'm in a major market.
In the United States, yeah.
I mean, a lot of things worked in my favor.
We're back with our remaining moments with Michael Jordan. The movie's coming, the perfume is coming, the cologne is coming, the basketball is coming, everything. The Air Jordan, the sneakers.
Championship is coming and all that.
And he's considering buying Time Warner, too. We'll be right back.
Guaranteed network reliability at a computer.
We're back with our remaining moments with Michael Jordan. Practice starts Friday. Seems like they just ended. Quick call, Hartsville, South Carolina. Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Question, from high school all the way to the pros, what championship do you cherish the most?
Good question.
Yeah, great question.
Favorite championship?
It'd have to be last year. Last
Over the
year,
NCAA?
yes. I mean, even though I feel that the NCAA championship propelled my career, I think last year gave me an opportunity to revisit a lot of those steps and finally end up with the championship because of a lot of things that happened in the course of that year, personally.
How old are you now?
33.
33.
Sure.
Do you worry about injury?
No. I prepare myself.
That's an older body.
Knock on wood now. Hold on. Don't be talking about it.
That's an older body, though, as sport goes, right?
Yeah, but I think people are starting to forget. I took 2 years away from the game. So
But
really,
you played another game.
Right, but in being 33 and missing 2 years, so
you're
actually
31 to yourself.
I'm 31 to myself.
Do you
And I missed the second year too with a broken foot, so I haven't really played. But what, 8 years of the 11 years that I played?
What's special about Chicago?
The people are so supportive. You know, I've been there when the teams were really low, and they were still supportive, and then they came out. I'm glad that I can make them happy in the job that I do on the basketball court. I respect that. They respect me, and I appreciate it.
Do you like or tolerate Dennis Rodman?
I like Dennis. I really, truly do. I think Dennis has a great personality. I think some things he does to vent some of either the expressions or some of the things within himself. He's a very shy individual. I think people don't really take that to understand, but he vents his decisions or some of his emotions in different ways, and I truly understand that.
He is different.
I admit that he is different, but he's a true leader on the basketball court with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of dedication to winning. I was really surprised with the way that he came in with the work attitude and really became one of the leaders on our basketball team.
Michael, we got about less than a minute. Any goal left?
To consistently win and be successful, and I want to watch my kids be successful, hopefully.
You want any more kids?
No.
Enough is in there.
No.
I want to panic you.
Yeah, no, don't panic. Thank you, sir. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.